with a number of youngsters making their breakthrough into the FC Vaduz side and into some of Europe's top sides. Let's see if they've had any impact on the fortunes of the national team as we try to qualify for Euro 2032. We know we can beat Lithuania. We should be able to beat North Macedonia. So whether or not we qualify will all come down to clashes with Ukraine, and toughest of them all, the #1 ranked team in the world, France. So quickly pause and predict our final position in this group in the comments. We warmed up for our first game by hosting Saudi Arabia, 2-2, a fair result. A few days later we played our first game in qualifying, at home to Ukraine. Despite us dominating possession and having the better quality chances, it ended in a frustrating 0-0 draw. Still, we can take positives from the fact that a team like Ukraine seemed to be happy to come to our place, sit back and take the point. June would see us take on North Macedonia in a crucial double-header. We did not get off to a good start in Skopje, trailing 1-0 at half-time. But in the second half, two of our FC Vaduz youngsters earned us an impressive win. First Brahma, then Barcelona boy Andreas Corner earned us an impressive win, meaning a penalty miss from Burmester was of no consequence. So could we do it again in the return game? Well, after the new wonderkids of FC Vaduz had won us the first game, it was one of our first wave of young stars, Lorenz Krauss, who won the second, firing in an impressive hat-trick as we ran out 3-0 winners. So back-to-back victories meant we went into the summer second in the group, with the massive caveat that we are yet to play France, who also have games in hand, as they spent the June international window playing in the Nations League finals. And it was France who would be our opponents in the next international break in September. Some news of a new star in the Liechtenstein national team before we get to that game though, as FC Vaduz backup goalkeeper Timo Schliak qualified for citizenship and declared himself available for the national side, putting him in better standing in my eyes than Alexander Jankovic, who is now eligible for Liechtensteiner nationality but sees no benefit. So I think I'll let him run down his contract and leave. Schliak would make his debut away to France, and had a quiet first 45 minutes, only having to watch these two chances fly by. Alas, there was stoppage time beyond the 45-minute mark, and that was when Matthias Tell broke the deadlock for the hosts. Tell then hit the post with this free kick, but wait, the chance for a break was on until Schlosser was cynically hacked down. I mean, come on ref, get your cards out. France kept piling on the pressure. They were gifted a chance when Hartmann dallied on the ball too long and gave it away, leading to a French counter-attack. But great save by Schleck. Another cock-up from one of our centre-backs, Tony Block this time, almost gave France a 2-goal lead. Surely the second goal was on the way. We brought on Ballesteros to add some pace in attack, but he immediately gave away a penalty. Schleck did enough to put Guri off though. Deep into stoppage time, Ballesteros was involved in a penalty shout at the other end, but it wasn't given, and the French soon launched a counter-attack, looking for that crucial second goal to kill off our challenge. Matthias Tell was involved again, but Chumaneni shot over. Ultimately an inevitable defeat, but still, we had done ourselves proud. We bounced back in the next game at home to Lithuania, Fabian Schreck scoring 2 minutes into his debut, then David Ballesteros adding a second, and Hans Brahma making it 3 before half-time. We sat back a bit in the second half and Lithuania did score, but still a solid home win. That defeat to France dropping us to third, but keeping pace with the top two. October's game away to Ukraine is shaping up to be a crucial one, but problems loomed as Lorenz Krauss, now on Wolves at loan, was an injury doubt for the Ukraine game, while Hans Brahma was definitely out and didn't make the squad. Still, we decided to risk it with Krauss having him start the game, and it almost paid off early on. We went close again as Gabriel Ishik curled in this free kick, and again in first half stoppage time as the ball found its way to Burmester in a great position, but he couldn't quite hit the target. I have a feeling we're gonna regret those near misses. Or maybe not, as a corner in the second half gave us another opportunity, Pascal Olner threading his way into the box to drive the ball home. Another corner presented another great opportunity with Schreck on for Krauss, forcing a great save. And that would prove to be the final action of note as we held on for a huge win. To celebrate this momentous result, we jetted off to the Cape Islands for a friendly, but unfortunately our hosts were party poopers. Ukraine, meanwhile, would earn a win over North Macedonia to keep the pressure up, but we had moved into second with a game in hand. We still have to play France again, of course, but so do Ukraine. Dear viewers, after all this time, we are so close to no, I'm not going to jinx it. Especially as we realised Lorenz Krauss would be suspended for the France game. A quiet opening 30 minutes ended with a French attack and a clinical finish from Camavinga. But just after the hour mark, a corner was headed in by Tony Block. France kept streaming forward, though stopped by a last-ditch tackle and then going close with Chouameni. And then a momentary loss of discipline from Andreas Corner proved costly as the former FC Vaduz man got his second yellow for this challenge. France then had a free kick in a dangerous position and we just about survived. To hold on for a historic 1-1 draw. And that might be an even bigger result than the win in Ukraine. We then stepped onto the field in Lithuania looking to book our place at a major final for the first time. We would of course be without Cornet and also without Gabriel Ishak as both served suspensions, and we would be keeping a close eye on the scoreline in Paris. But just after the half-hour mark, that result became much less significant as the returning Lorenz Krauss gave us the lead. Early in the second half, we got the chance to double our lead as Burmester was fouled in the box, and despite carrying an injury, he powered it in. A blip came as Schlosser got himself sent off just before the hour mark, but we rallied as Pascal Olner made sure of the win, and we are on our way to the Euros. We would have qualified even with a draw as Ukraine lost to France, and we finished 4 points clear of them in the second automatic qualifying spot. So we've now skipped ahead to April 2032, so we can watch the Euros group stage draw together and find out who we play. We've got Mark van Bommel here hosting the ceremony. Now this has been hosted by Scotland and Wales, so we should see them go into groups A and B. There we go. Now, looking at the other top seeds, I mean, obviously, if we can get into Group A or Group B, and then we avoid some of the really big nations out there. Pot 2, let's have a look how these get distributed. So Scotland and Turkey are in there together. Austria with Wales. Ireland, we've played them a couple of times before with Portugal. Then we've got Croatia and Holland, or Netherlands, excuse me. That's a group we probably want to avoid. And then France and Belgium, we definitely want to avoid that. England and Norway with, Erling Haaland still banging them in for fun. Now, I thought we'd be in pot 4. We're actually in pot 3. Okay. That means we definitely avoid Italy and Spain, which is good news. Do we go into Group A? No. Denmark get into Group A. Group B? No. Hungary go into there. Group C? Yes. Okay, so we are going to have to play a fairly big team in Portugal. Ireland, like I say, we've got history with them. They've beaten us heavily a couple of times before. We had a couple of games in another qualifying campaign where we ran them close, but we still lost. So that's going to be tough. Ooh, look at that. Group E shaping up to be the group of death there. France, Belgium, and Italy. And, Group F is looking pretty deadly as well. Yes, boy! Okay, so let's round this draw off. Looking at this final pot of teams, we can avoid Germany. Definitely we want to avoid Germany. If we could get Albania, that would be great. Well, Germany go into Group A, so Group A is now looking pretty tough. Group B, that's where Greece go. Okay, can we get Albania? Fingers crossed. Can we get... No. We get our near neighbours, Switzerland. Fantastic. Right, that is a tough-looking group. Portugal, Ireland and Switzerland. We will do well to get out of that group. Let's complete the draw then. Poland going into Group D. If Germany could have been saved for Group E, that would have really been a group of death. That's where poor Albania go. They're going to get slaughtered. And finally, Group F, we get the Czech Republic. All right, so that is our Euros draw, our first ever major tournament. In there with Portugal, Ireland and Switzerland. How do you think we're going to do? Let me know in the comments and tune in for the next episode, which is going to be our opening match at the Euros.